Max, let's matriculate. Let's go to 4A.
All right.
Let's do 4A. 4A Division 1. The headline here is Fight Club.
Oh, man.
Because there are heavyweights in every single region.
Yep.
Now, sometimes in these regions, there's only one. In some of these regions, right? For example, I think Carthage has to be the favorite to come out of Region 3.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
And right now, I think La Vega has to be the favorite to come out of Region 4.
Yep.
And that is a semifinal worth seeing.
Yes.
I would be very interested.
Holy cow. Yeah.
But let's talk about Region 2 for a second.
Okay.
I think there are two. I look at Midlothian Heritage, and I look at Kennedale.
Yep.
And that would be a matchup that would be in a regional semifinal. But I also think people are not paying enough attention to what Kaufman's doing.
Yep.
I think Van has been excellent as well. So Region 2, though, I think there are two teams above there in Kennedale and Midlothian Heritage that are probably there.
Yeah, Kaufman's really good. I think people have kind of slept on them a little bit. They beat Van at the end of the regular season. I think that was a nice win. But it was a close game. I think both teams could do some special things in the playoffs. I've seen Kennedale and Midlothian Heritage with my own two eyes. Those are tough teams. Kennedale might have the fastest group they've ever had, and that's saying something. They fly to the ball on defense, and they break through that line with that wing tee craziness that they run on offense. They're a very tough nut to crack.
Let's talk about Region 1. Region 1 used to have a team that you're like, it's them. Don't worry about it. In Argyle.
Yeah.
And one injury.
Yep.
The injury to Argyle quarterback John Copeland, right? And all of a sudden, we're not saying Argyle is not a contender, but let's just say that they fall a little bit back to the pack. Just a little bit.
Still think they're the favorite
amount.
in the region, but things get a lot more interesting without their star.
But suddenly, aren't there 4 or 5 teams that are in range of them?
Yeah, I started working on the sleeper column this weekend and realized very quickly that you start to look at it and the playing field looks even, and, man, teams like Andrews.
Isn't Stephenville
is having quietly a very good year. This is a fascinating region.
Andrews, Abilene Wiley, Wichita Falls Hershey, Lubbock Estacado.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Region 1 looks much more in flux if Argyle is not this dominant power. And maybe they are.
Right.
But if they're not, things get very interesting. Fight Club. 3 contenders. It starts with Carthage.
Yep.
I think they're the best. I think there's a real argument that Carthage is the best pound-for-pound team in the state.
They're better than they were last year, and they were awesome last year.
They are very good. They've got Keontae Ingram. The defense is really good. I feel like, when they have that headliner like Ingram, people just inherently say that's the Keontae Ingram show.
Right.
And he's great. I'm not saying anything bad about him. But that whole team, and he'd admit it, that whole team is a machine.
They are balanced. They are dangerous. They are in a loaded field. 4A D1, the entire bracket, pound for pound, might be the toughest next to maybe 6A D1. And Carthage is still a prohibitive favorite to win this title. I think it says a lot about how good they are.
Kennedale is also my contender. I like Kennedale a lot. I think their running game's great, and I think their defense, again, kind of in a reverse. Like, they lose Baron Browning, who is such the headliner, but now I think that the sum of the parts might actually be stronger. That's
It's
not
pretty
a knock on
interesting.
him. That's just the truth of the matter.
And they're just they're all a year older, and again, I just cannot understate at 481 how fast they are. It is just not this common for so many key players to be this fast.
And Waco La Vega. This team has so many shades of that 2015 title team that it's a little scary. That the defense is just suffocating and the offense just does what it needs to. Jamal Williams, I think, is taking big steps forward as the quarterback. They got a great running back in Camache Hobbs. This team is dangerous. My sleeper here is Wichita Falls Hershey. And it comes down to one dude. It comes down to DeMarway Foster, who has been outrageous. And we saw them in person. And now, by the way, that loss to Graham, that's aged very well.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
It's aged very well. So, Hershey's a team to keep an eye on. They're my sleeper in 4AD1.